everyone, I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen, and today we are going to be making something out of something else. Remember when we made that Kentucky style beer cheese for our Super Bowl table? Well, I had some left over and I didn't want to waste it. You can't really freeze it, and it's gonna sit in my fridge till Kingdom Come, and probably no one will eat it because we're sick of it. So today for lunch, I'm gonna make this delicious beer cheese soup, and I'm gonna put some smoked sausage in it, and it's gonna be delicious. So let's go see how this all comes together. Okay, we're going to get started making this beer cheese soup, and we're gonna be using the beer cheese spread that I made for Super Bowl. We had quite a bit, and we're gonna go ahead and use this as the cheese in our soup. Usually when you see like a Wisconsin beer cheese soup recipe, it has lots of shredded cheese and beer and chicken stock and all of that. So we're gonna skip a couple of steps and we're gonna go ahead and use our beer cheese spread, which already has a lot of seasonings in it, and we're gonna add this to our soup when the time comes. But we're also gonna need a quart or 4 cups of chicken stock, a cup of diced onion, a half a cup of, these are roasted red bell peppers out of a jar because I didn't have any fresh, and that's why I love keeping these on the shelf, because they're super versatile and you can use these in place of a fresh bell pepper, and these have an even richer and deeper flavor because they've been roasted. I love having these on the shelf. Aren't they good?
Delicious.
And then I have about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. I have a quarter of a cup of flour, all-purpose, and a half a stick of butter, or a quarter of a cup, or 4 tablespoons of butter. And then I have about a half a cup of heavy whipping cream. We're gonna finish everything off with this. And then I have a link of kielbasa, and I just cut that up and cut each slice in half, and I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking those on top of the stove. We're gonna add these to the top of our soup when we get it all finished and ready to go. So we're gonna meet you over at the stove, and we're gonna start building our beer cheese soup. Okay, what I've gone ahead and done is I melted my butter in the pot, and then I added the onion, the garlic, and the red bell pepper, the roasted red bell pepper, and then I gave it a little bit of a saute. You can see the onion is beginning to soften now. You don't need to go like until it's completely translucent. Don't even worry about it. But now we're gonna go ahead and add our flour. So what you wanna do is you just wanna make sure that you're gonna cook that flour for a couple of minutes, because you don't want it to be raw, because that raw taste is not very pleasant. And I think we're gonna call that really good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add our chicken stock. That was 4 cups of chicken stock. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stir this just to break up the roux and the vegetables, and we're gonna get that going in there. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just stir this until it begins to thicken, and then we'll be back when it's time to add the beer cheese. Our soup has thickened slightly, and we're almost to the point where it's going to come to a boil, and that's just where I want it, because now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add this beer cheese, and I would say, measurement-wise, there's probably 2.5 cups here. I'm going to go ahead and add some of it right away, and then I'm going to wait, and I'm going to stir it down, and I'm going to let it melt in there, and then I'm going to add the rest. So you can see how beautiful it's already starting to get nice and thick and creamy.
Looks good already.
It does, it looks amazing. I'm going to add the remainder of this beer cheese that likes to stick to the bottom here.
And you can smell the beer.
You can, and the longer this sits, the beerier it gets, if you want to call it that. So I'm just going to go ahead and allow this to come to a nice smooth consistency, and I'm going to watch my smoked sausage, and we'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, all of our beer cheese has melted, and this is incredible. What I'm gonna do now is I turned off the burner and I'm just gonna stream in this half a cup of heavy cream. You can use milk if you want, no worries. This is just gonna kind of bring everything together, mellow everything out a little, because that beer cheese is a little bit on the strong side. And this is... It is a little salty, but you can regulate that when you make it. And if you make it from scratch with just cheese and beer, you can totally regulate the salt. You'll notice I didn't use any salt in this recipe for that reason, because cheese is very salty and it's just not necessary. So, this is our beer cheese soup, and I'm very excited to go over to the counter and serve up a bowl so you can see what this is going to look like. So we'll meet you back over there in just a second. All right, there you have it. There is our delicious beer cheese soup. I'm just gonna add a couple of pieces of smoked sausage. I have some in there already, but that's it. That's our smoked sausage with our beautiful beer cheese soup. We're gonna enjoy this for lunch today. There's gonna be plenty left over for another day, but this is another way to get some use out of something you had in your fridge that maybe you made for a party and you didn't think you were ever gonna get any more use out of it. Maybe you made a little too much, maybe you're a little sick of eating it, you can't really put it in the freezer, but now that you've made it into soup, you can put it in the freezer. So that is our beer cheese soup. Yep. So this looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
And do you want to taste it with a little piece of the smoked sausage?
If I have to.
Okay. They're probably hot.
Oh, wow.
That's delicious.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that is really good.
That is amazing.
Surprisingly good. And you know what it would benefit from? Maybe a dash of hot sauce or two, I think. Even though there's some cayenne pepper in that beer cheese, I think it would be great.
What?
This is amazing. I hope you give it a try. And really, like I said, this is just a leftover makeover, but a leftover of some party food that you maybe didn't think you were gonna keep. So before you toss stuff like that, think outside the box and think about how you can make it into something else. My friend Heather is like the queen of the leftover makeovers. She makes some pretty amazing stuff out of leftover Chinese takeout, things I never would have thought to do. But this beer cheese soup is along those same lines, and it's really good. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you're not already, and this is your first time, welcome to Noreen's Kitchen. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you'll visit us often again. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button, and also if you are already subscribed, make sure you hit that the bell button next to the subscribe button so you don't miss any of YouTube's notifications whenever we upload a video, because we don't want you to miss out on all the real food for real people, real easy recipes, just like this beer cheese soup that we present all the time right from our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. I hope you give this soup a try, and I hope you love it because it's really awesome. And until next time, I'll see ya.